Hey, welcome everyone. It is Tuesday, July 22nd, I believe. Welcome.
23rd.
23rd. See, I'm even off by date. This is not my week. Anyways, welcome to another live edition of the podcast Anime Talk. I am Joe Animated. I'm joined by my sidekick.
You say psychic or sidekick? Because I can be either. All right, yeah, I'm Aeroblip the psychic.
The Robin to my Batman. The Wonder Woman to the rest of the Justice League.
Please. Call me Nightwing.
Nightwing. He was better than Robin, I'll give you that.
Well, which Robin are you thinking about, though?
That's true. There's how many of them? Three?
Three.
Yeah.
Three. That's not an anime, though.
No. But regardless. So, two of us there, you have our Twitter handles. Go ahead and send us a message. You can also use the social stream on the right-hand side of the broadcast. Go ahead and get your questions in, comments, feedbacks. Let us know when we're saying completely retarded stuff. Also, one more way to give us feedback is to use our text message line. You can send a text message or leave a voicemail there. We can play the best voicemails and discuss the best text messages right here live in front of you.
Well, for the record, there's no reason to send us a text message if you have our Twitter handles.
That's true. But it's
so you should definitely call us, though.
Yeah, call and leave a voicemail. We will get a kick out of some of the crazy stuff I'm sure most of you guys could say.
Yep.
All right, let's go into some brief news articles.
Do it.
SAO starts on Toonami this weekend, which actually is a good thing, I think.
Yeah. Okay, this is the show that Toonami has needed for a long time. And in the sense that it's very popular, but more importantly, it's current. So we've always complained about Toonami. It's like, yeah, they brought it back, but they haven't brought back anything new. I mean, sure, they've taken steps forward with getting, One Piece or the never-before-aired in America One Piece. But it's about time that they actually got something, that's relatively current. So...
yeah,
and I think
it fits Toonami's format perfect. I think it fits the audience. It fits the format. It's unfortunate it's only 24 episodes.
Yeah.
So
IGPX that's only 13. So
yeah, but yeah. I think it fits into the genre of shows that Toonami favors, and like you said, it's recent, which is a great thing. Because now you're getting something that's popular. It shows Toonami's reaching into and getting the gumption to bring current stuff online, which is on air, which is great.
Yeah.
I don't know. There are a lot of people who dislike SAO. They say, it's fantasy pandering, it's bad against women, et cetera, et cetera.
I don't care.
Yeah, duly noted, don't care.
Yeah. But I don't know, I won't deny that I watched SAO from start to finish. And if I watched something from start to finish, that meant it was mildly entertaining to some extent. So,
yeah.
It's popular by the masses. Just go to any convention, look at the numbers. This thing sells like hotcakes. So, bringing something that popular into Toonami, perfect. Even with a dub, too. That's perfect.
Yeah, it's English dub. You know what would be really interesting is if Toonami can get Attack on Titan in the next year.
I wouldn't be surprised, because here's the thing. Aniplex is getting bigger and bigger by the day. So, whenever you think of, anime coming to the United States, most people think Funimation, right?
True, and they do a lot of stuff on, Netflix and Hulu.
Yeah, but if you notice, these past few years, Aniplex has really been making a name for itself. First you had Madoka of last year. The movie sold like hotcakes. And that's, theater movie, not, Blu-ray movie. True. And then Bakemonogatari is getting popular as well, and then just everything that Aniplex has owned so far has been big.
So has Funimation had a recent release to big theater? I can't think of anything.
The only one I can think of is Ghost in the Shell Arise, and that's upcoming.
But that's not in theaters, though, is it?
No, it will be, but not as big as Madoka, though.
Is it coming? It's not coming. I have to go back and look. It's not coming.
There was a news release saying that Ghost in the Shell Arise the first 2 of the 4 parts will air in theaters in the end of 2013. There's a news story on that. I guarantee it.
Yeah. somebody mentioned in the feed, SAO could be a gateway anime for people.
Yeah.
I think it's.
I mean,
It can be,
most.
What's that?
It's the most grounded as far as being anime, so to speak.
For people that are about my age, don't take offense to this, everybody, but Naruto was a gateway anime. Bleach was a gateway anime. Cowboy Bebop.
No one takes offense to that.
No, I'm saying some people say, "Oh, Naruto, you have shit taste." I don't think people quite realize the impact Naruto had on American fans.
No. Everyone knows because it's popular.
It wasn't because something pop. Yeah, true. If you look at somebody did a Google word. There's that service in Google. You can look at how often something is searched by, right, and do all the analytics. It's amazing still how much Bleach, Naruto, One Piece, and the major shonen shows get searched on compared to everything else. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
But yes, I agree. Somebody says it's a little bit too fan servicey. That's probably part of the point.
Well, that's interesting because if you think about Toonami, or even like Toonami way back in history, so even like when they were doing the afternoon shows, they were always about the action shows. Like it was always action, and the fan service.
That's true. It was Gundam Wing. It was Bleach, Naruto. It was Tenchi Muyo. It was that kind of stuff. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, as far as Tenchi Muyo is the only one that was like the most fan service, or even like remotely close to being like today's standards of fan service. And even then, it didn't really show like close up on kids. It was just more of like a harem type thing. So, I mean, we'll see. I don't know. I don't think the audience will react badly to it at all.
No.
So
I think it'll go over just fine and only make things better because they're catching popularity, bring up ratings. Ratings bring advertising. It's perpetual.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Big Globe, our favorite quote unquote polling service, did a poll for the top 25 summer anime as of about episode 2, episode 3 for some of these shows.
Mm-hmm.
10,201 people polled. It ended on the 20th. So let's take a look. The bottom half of the top 15. Kiniro Mosaic, Sunday Without God, Silver Spoon, Basketball Season 2, Love Lab, Brothers Conflict, The World God Only Knows at 14, and High School DxD New. Not overly surprised by that.
I'm not either. I mean, again, so usually when Big Globe does these polls, they're polled by the Japanese, so not us. I mean, these are very standard. I mean, we know that Kaminomi's going to be popular. We already know that. Like, all these shows, I'm not really surprised. The only one I guess I can be surprised is that Kami-sama no Inai Nichiyobi, which is a Sunday Without God. Possibly is that high, considering how no one knew anything about it really going into the season. So
it's still kind of one of those shows, which we'll discuss later. It just kind of says, you're like, what? You know?
Yeah, definitely a surprise.
All right, next up, the top 7 here. Servant Service at number 7. Neptunia at 6, Monogatari at 5, Free at 4, Watamote at 3, Prism Ilia at 2, and Rosin Maiden at 1. That one actually kind of surprises me. I didn't realize how popular the manga was, or how popular that is in general. Yeah.
Well, I mean, don't forget, the anime came out a few years ago. Like, the first 2 seasons, came out quite a long time ago.
And it's a manga with a couple spin-offs, which is what this current season is based on.
True.
I guess I just didn't realize how popular it actually was.
Yeah.
As a franchise. Very interesting.
I think it's more like the people who are actually watching it probably rated it high. So, yeah.
I will admit I've watched the first 3 episodes. Not overly impressed. I guess maybe because I don't know anything about the franchise.
Yeah. Doesn't it just, like, keep going essentially where the old series left off?
No, it's an alternate universe.
Is it really? Oh, I always thought it was like a sequel. All right.
No, it's an alternate universe if he didn't meet the dolls when he was in junior high, or high school, whatever it was at the time. Junior high.
So it's a reboot, essentially?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And he's in college now, and things are finally happening. It's kind of weird. And the character is it's bad, I think. I don't like this character at all. Like he plays almost like he's autistic or has Asperger's. Like it's
So
really
like every
weird.
other main character?
Huh? No,
Like
like
every other.
there's a difference between being socially inept and having autism to me.
You mean
But
like Watamote?
Watamote is complete social inept. Yeah. So Prism Ilia, is it really that enjoyable?
It's Type Moon.
Yeah. Never mind.
Yep. It's
That
Type
probably
Moon.
drives it. Watamote number 3, found that kind of interesting.
Yep.
And I'm surprised Free is only at number 4. I expected it to
I
be a top 3.
I figured to be lower actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, it turns out it's actually better than what most people thought in the first place. So that's a good thing.
It's not terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Okay. So if you have any thoughts, give us a chat there in the social stream. Let us know what you think of these top 15. No real huge surprises from us.
Yep.
Anime Blu-ray sales. These numbers are relative. They're forwarded to us by Oricon and Anime News Network. Take them for what they are. Attack on Titan in its Volume 1, first week. Approximately 37,000 units sold.
Yeah. Let's focus on that one for a bit.
All right, go for it.
Hot damn! I did not think it would sell that much. Like, I mean, that's getting close to Monogatari numbers because I remember Nisei when that first debuted, it was like
It was
pulling
pretty
40.
huge.
It was like 45, 50 in its first week. So being able to pull off a 37 on its first week, that's pretty damn good. That is pretty damn good.
Porco
Hell,
Rosso, they had a
yeah.
re-release, apparently. 24,000 units.
Mm-hmm.
Found that to be kind of interesting. Still popular. Saki, Tamako Market, Mayu, Devil Survivor, all pulling in the bottom of the list there.
Yeah. Not much really came out this week besides Attack on Titan. So, but yeah,
But I'm
I
surprised
mean,
that Mayu Volume 5, only 2,000 units.
nah, I'm not surprised at all, to be honest.
I think it just seems that's just a really low. But hey, it's doing just as well as Tamako Market, so hey, why not? Saki doesn't surprise me. Tamako wasn't very good. I'm not.
I
I'm,
never
I'm not
finished it.
surprised at all that it's only selling 2,000 units. Roughly.
Yeah, I never finished it. It was just a bad show.
I got through 2 episodes and it's just like, oh wow. Now that's a girl that has autistic tendencies right there. Whether they wanted it to be that way or not. But yeah, Attack on Titan dominating Blu-ray sales in an otherwise very weak. That's probably played in its favor. No competition. It's that or nothing almost.
Well, I mean, yes and no, I guess, because I mean, it is true that there's nothing else there, but at the same time, everyone knows that if you wait a week or two, like more stuff's going to come out. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't think the competition has anything to do with this. This is just legit numbers right there. Like Attack on Titan is really that popular.
Oh,
At
yeah.
least the first 4 episodes were really popular.
I think the Attack on Titan parody is more popular than the show itself at times.
But that's okay. Because it's funny.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it's not funny. I'm just pointing that out. I think the parody is way more popular than anything else. All right, man.
But I do. It is a shame how the second OP is not good.
Yeah, the first one was better.
All
Yeah. Questions, man. We got a couple questions we can answer tonight.
right, go for it.
All right. First one. Why are anime openings only a minute 30 seconds long? And statistically speaking, they're really close to minute 30 almost every time. Even on shorts. Like Puyo Puyo.
Yeah.
So,
Well, let me say this. I do not work in the anime industry, so this is all speculation. But I'll say 2 things. One, it probably has something to do with the broadcast structure.
yes, so stop right there. Let me describe what the broadcast structure is. So each episode is typically 25 minutes, which leaves 5 minutes for commercials and a 30-minute time slot.
Yes.
Openings and endings are typically reused for most of the series, blah, blah, blah. So So typical anime television episodes on broadcasts have commercial breaks after the opening animation, in the middle of the episode, which we all know, because you get those middle credits, and just before the ending credits. So just before the ED. So with this broadcast pattern, a 90-second opening puts more content between commercial breaks than a 30 or 60-second opening.
True.
So something to keep in mind. There's your broadcast structure. Keep going.
Yes. Also, and don't forget too that anime openings and endings, they're also songs as well. So there's going to be a CD release. So that's just another way to tease merchandise that go with the franchise. So say like for something like, I don't know, Madoka. People like Connect by Claire's, right? So by playing a minute 30, you get a good sense of what the song's about. So it encourages people to buy it, as opposed to say something that's like 30 seconds long or a minute long. I feel like a minute 30 is sufficient enough to essentially show what the show's about and also show what the song is about too.
So another thing, opening sequences serve as advertisements for record companies.
Yes.
According to this article, a popular opening animation sequence like that of Harui or Lucky Star can make the series opening theme songs turn into overnight smash hits. A longer opening animation sequence provides time for the theme song to get exposure and gain popularity.
Exactly.
If you'd like to look at the article
that's
we're looking
what
at, I will post this in the social stream.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, like, why do you think everyone knows what Pony Canyon and Lantis are? Right? They don't make anime, but you know those companies.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, just something to think about. Good points. You've hit on most of them there, Mr. Arrow.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other kind of point here is it seems like it was almost arbitrary in that the industry kind of did some trial and error and decided that a minute 30 seemed to be the perfect thing. If you watch a lot of American television shows, I believe, like Simpsons and Family Guy are 30-second openings, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're not really there to sell a song or anything. They're just there to essentially say, here's the start of a show.
Yep.
And actually, if you think about it, there's a lot of shows that just do cold openings. Or not even cold openings. They just don't really have an opening.
Yep. There's a comment here in the article that that openings back in the 70s were only 60 seconds long.
Yeah.
So it seems like as the format progressed and was modified, it ended up being about a minute 30.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. It may not be a definitive answer, but this just through trial and error and through a little bit of formatting, sequencing, and advertising, you get a minute and 30 long opening. So,
well, actually, if you think about it, that's kind of cool though, because so when you stream a show, let's say stream. When you stream a show, it says it's about 25 minutes, right? So even if you subtract the opening, that's still 22 minutes, right? That's 22, or minus the opening and ED, you get 22 minutes of a show, which is what you get in America, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the important thing is that it's less commercials.
Yeah, well, their commercial format's much easier to digest than an American show. Good freaking grief.
Yes.
Our commercial.
So you're not getting more anime, but you're getting less commercials.
So thank you to for asking that question this week. Next question. What manga or anime would you like to see a live action of? So for this question, just to let you know, we're getting a Just Say You Love Me live show. Mm-hmm. Yamada and the Seven Witches is getting a live action. Nana Tokaro has a live action. And so on and so forth. We're seeing a lot of manga formats turning into live action shows. So, if you had your choice of what manga or anime you'd like to see a live action of, what would it be?
Am I going first?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. If they can do it right, I would love to see a Biscuit Hammer live action.
I've never read that manga. It's on my to-read list, and I've just never gotten to it.
Oh my god, it's really good.
So it's no disagreement from me on that. Go for it.
So for those who don't know, Biscuit Hammer is essentially about this college guy, who has a very eccentric neighbor, and essentially one day after talking with her, he discovers a talking lizard. Yes, he discovers a talking lizard, and then as things progress, he finds a talking dog, and other people who have these animals as well, and then he realizes that there's a giant hammer in the sky, a giant biscuit hammer in the sky, that's going to destroy the Earth. And so it's up to him to stop the hammer from falling. I don't know. I feel like it can work if you do. I don't know. It's really hard to see. It's really hard to. I don't know how you would structure it. I don't. If it's a movie, it may have to be 2 parts, I guess. If it's a TV series, maybe 1 season worth. But I mean, it's besides the talking animals part, it's really grounded in the characters. So, and the fact that since it's a modern day setting, I think it can work just well, like with real people, as opposed to like needing heavy amounts of CG or animation or like special effects. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
This one was a tough one for me. It's hard to think of something I would like to see a live action of. I think Yamada and the Seven Witches will be very interesting. I wish I could find somebody who will be broadcasting it, because I would love to see that one.
Isn't that like the fairy tale art style?
Yeah, I believe it's by the same artist. Yeah.
Okay. I've heard of that one.
It's a great. Actually, if you haven't read that manga, it's pretty good. But the
I tried it.
I think it's actually reaching an ending point, which kind of worries me.
That's okay.
Hey, but it's kind of disappointing because it had a good stride there for a while. But I think they're trying to wrap it up. Unfortunately. So it's great. What would I?
Just so Min said, always thought Gunslinger Girl would translate well into live action. You know, I was thinking that at first, but then I've always wondered the idea of what actually happens if you start seeing the little, like, actual little girls, like, doing that stuff. I don't know if it would sell well.
Yeah.
Like, if you see an actual little girl with a P90, or say you see an actual high school girl driving in a Panzer, not sure how that would actually go.
I think A.N. and Zach would shit his pants.
Well, first of all, no one gives a fuck about A.N. and Zach.
I'm just saying, the guy has a thing about guns. He's got an innate fear of guns. He's probably never held a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on how you treat it. If you treat it something like C3, it also depends on the story. Because if you treat it like C3 Boo, where it's just nonsensical with it and it's more about fun, then it can work. But something like Gunslinger Girl, that gets dark. That gets dark, and not to mention, there's a lot of violence on the girls, which I've always wondered exactly how people would take it.
I wonder if a Shingeki no Soma, or Shogeki no Soma, would be good as a live adaptation. Have you read that one yet?
No, I have
It's
not.
the cooking manga. Oh my gosh, man! So this is one where the art style right now, the artist used to do hentai stuff.
Okay.
So there's a lot of scenes where people taste the food and have an orgasm, and the scene is drawn very, not explicitly, but drawn very suggestively, right? I think that would be interesting. I thought it would be funny to watch.
I mean, based on what you told me, the only thing I can think of is like a naked, like Martha Stewart and Rachel Ray just feeding each other.
Yeah, it's not. Let's not go there. Let's not go there. Imagine a Mysterious Girlfriend X live action.
I thought that was.
No, it's not, is it? Not yet.
Not yet. I don't know. That'd be different too.
All right. So lots of fun things to choose from. But yeah, there's a lot of adaptations coming to live action in the next year, so keep your eyes out.
Oh.
Hey, it's game time.
Okay.
We're playing Word Up. One word to describe a show. We've got 3 shows lined up. Let's hit it. First up, C3. I'm trying to remember what word I chose here. Let's do it. I chose colorful. I think there's a lot of colorful personalities and variety in this show, so I think it does well with that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I like the variety, the colorful and just a generic, variety kind of sense. I like it. Is it as exciting as Panzer? No, but I think there's more personalities to enjoy.
Yeah.
So your word. You chose stellar.
Stellar. I'm so funny. But yeah, Stellar. I legit like the show. Again, like I think I was probably the only person of the blogging community, so to speak, that was legitimately excited to see what Guy Next would do. And for the most part, I'm not disappointed.
Like, everything I wanted is there. Like, sure, you have the girls doing cute things, but at the same time, there's still building up the cast. You understand, like, each girl has a different personality. And the gunplay, while I wish there was more of it and a bit more grounded in realism, it's still there, though. The first episode was, hands down, probably my favorite episode so far. Just because of the fact that, like, they take this, like, really absurd, like, fantasy element, and then they're like, oh yeah, like, these girls like to kick ass. And we know they like to kick ass, so let's show them kicking ass. And I love that action sequence with, like, the 4 against 1. But as the show progressed, I'm getting more characterization, which I like, but at the same time, I'm getting less grounded gun battles, which is what I don't like. So it's like you're robbing Peter to pay Paul in a very, very unusual manner. So, but yeah, other than that, I really do like the show. Stellar.
Agreed. We're both in definite agreement for this one. Next up, we have Symphogear. You're first up. You ready?
Yep.
You chose Whimsical.
Yes, I did. Whimsical. Symphogear's a really weird show. Actually, that's not weird at all. It's a stupid show. But if you like the first season, you'll definitely like the second. So if you didn't watch the first season, there's really no reason to watch the second one, which I don't blame you, because I only watched the first season just because I got bored one day, and it worked out just fine. So yeah, I like Symphogear. I like it a lot, actually. Like, I'd say it's my second favorite show of the season so far. They did everything right so far, as like continuing the same tone, the same. Essentially, all the aspects that made me love the first season, they're continued in the second season. But the better thing is that, like, it's better animation, like, better soundtrack. It's just more budget, and that's all you can ever hope for a sequel, right? Is that they can maintain something, but build upon it with, like, better effects. And I can also say too that the plot makes more sense, which is, like, not saying much considering how stupid the plot was in the first place in the first one. But yeah, I really do like the show. It's very whimsical. Like, it's lighthearted in a good sense.
All right. I chose Repeat. I think, while you said it's more budget, more of everything, it seems like it's very much like the first season to me. You know, without the introduction period. Not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, but I just don't feel like I'm getting anything new out of this season's show yet, though.
Okay. See, that's the one thing you pointed out right there, is that there's no more introductions. Is that we know, like, all the characters have been set up, we understand the relationships, and they're already good friends too. So there's no point ever building that up. So yeah, like, I mean, it is true. It is more of the same. But at the same time, there is still this underlying potential that this show can surpass, like, the first season tenfold.
And that's where it lies. There's potential.
Yes.
And it hasn't exploited that potential yet.
But that's part of the fun, because they're still teasing everything. Like, there's still things about people's past were unclear. Like, the show is definitely hinting at something bigger going on, besides the fact that you're dealing with rival singers, like rival Symphogears. So it teases a lot, but until we actually see them flesh it out, because don't forget, this is 13 episodes. So we've only gone through 3 out of 10.
Oh,
or
no,
3 out of 13.
I know, but it's potential that has to be exploited, or it's a lost cause.
Well, yeah, that's true.
But it's already done a great job of, like, already unleashing some of that potential.
Yep.
Yes.
Next up, Sunday Without God. I chose the Waiting. I'm still waiting to know what the hell's going on.
Yeah,
I apologize. I haven't seen episode 3 yet. I'm not caught up to that point, but I know I heard episode 3 was really good, but I'm just like, what the hell? I'm still kind of in this, what's going on? How are things working, etc. and so forth. So on the waiting scale, but I'm liking it so far. I do not dig lowly characters very well, but luckily she's only half the equation.
Yeah,
that's good.
Well, at least they explain the reason why she's so young. I mean, they could have done a better job explaining why she was so young. But yes, at least they do explain why she's so young. So there's a little bit of that. But so going back to my turn, the word I chose is stolen. So for those who actually haven't seen the show, let me give you a quick rundown on the premise, since not many people are talking about it. The The show is set essentially in the future. Let's just put it like that. Where essentially one day God came in and said, "Hey, heaven and hell are filled, so everyone here, you're kind of shit out of luck." And so what happens is that people just can't find peace whenever they die. So say, for example, if you were in a train and like it got derailed and you smashed your head in, you're still alive. Like you lose an arm, you lose blood flow, you die of starvation. You're a zombie, essentially. Yes. So it just so essentially what it comes down to is that they eventually find out that there are some people who have these special spiritual powers, so to speak, that can lay the dead to rest. And what they're setting up, based on what I know of the first 3 episodes, is that the main character here will now travel the lands, essentially learning more about her responsibilities, so to speak, as responsibilities in laying putting down the dead. But along the way, it's like she's learning more and more about, or she learns more about people, and at the same time, we learn more about the world itself. So the rules are laid out mostly clearly in the first episode. But then at that point, you start learning less about the system, and you learn more about exactly what happened to the world. Because don't forget, this is the future, but they really don't convey that idea off the bat. So it kind of makes you scratch your head at these things. And I think it's kind of like, I guess the best way to put it is, it's like Mushishi in its direction. I haven't finished Mushishi, so again, take this with a grain of salt. But essentially, yeah, you do have a main character with this special power who is essentially going around meeting different people, and essentially there's some kind of conflict or there's a story. So there's a story that and with every single mini arc, which is about 1 to 3 episodes, but it's all connected to this giant story in the background. So I guess that's the best way to describe it. And when I say sullen, I spent a lot of time describing the show. But when I say sullen, I mean the fact that it's because of that nature. It really kind of makes you. It's not a downer, but it just makes you think a lot. Or it's like, wow, it's like, what's going on? Like, there's a lot of people dying. There's a lot of suffering, and it kind of just makes you reflect on exactly how she's taking this all in. And especially with the 3rd episode too. It's no spoilers, but it's pretty bittersweet. Say what you want about how the show's directed or the aesthetics. I think all that is kind of just pushed aside purely for the atmosphere of the show that it gets off. And it's interesting enough that I think that this is something that people should give a shot. No one's talked about it, which is quite surprising, but I think this is definitely one that people should definitely take a look. So yeah, it's very somber. But
it's definitely not a show what you would expect. After that first episode, I watched it pre-air, so it came out a few days early. I was not impressed. I didn't want to give it another chance. I was like, eh. But a couple of guys in the blog said, hey, just keep watching. Let's see what we do with it. And the 2nd episode was much better. It got a little more descriptive. And now I need to watch the 3rd episode. And it's slow going. I think you have to give it 3 episodes before you can make any decision.
3 episodes is convenient for this show just because that's when the first arc ends. But I think you can tell by the 2nd episode what kind of show this is going to be. Where essentially this main character is just going to the OP kind of tells you too. Just going to travel the lands and gonna all sorts of adventures happen. But it's not like a fantasy in the traditional sense. No. Where there's no end goal. It's just living in this unique world. So.
Yep. All right.
Yep.
Good job on describing the show.
Yeah. It was kind of hard.
So that's it, man. Final thoughts. Why don't you go first?
Final thoughts. Okay. Fatcast. There'll be Fatcast this week, so you should check that out.
That's true.
But also, the other day, I actually, my package came in. It was Platina Jazz Volume 4. And what I will say right now is that Rasmus Faber is a fucking genius. And if you've never heard of Platina Jazz, I say go to YouTube and find their channel. So Platina Jazz. These guys are really good. And I guess what makes them so deserving to be on the show, mentioned at least, not because of the fact that they're extremely good, is the fact that what they do is they take anime songs
and then they do their own jazz spin to it. So it's not like they're jazzifying the song. They're just saying, hey, if we were to take this structure and then adjust it a bit, change some parts here, improvise the parts here, and you get a jazz song out of it. And they take a lot of famous songs, or famous anime songs, and they just do a wonderful job with it. Like, you get stuff from Aquarium. They did a song from Master, Sailor Moon, Hayo Naruko-san, like, just a lot of popular openings and ending songs, and then just they do their own jazz spin to it. So definitely check that out. That's all I would say. Rasmus Faber, if you ever get note of this, I'm a big fan. I don't know why he'd be watching the show, but I'm a big fan of you, and thank you for what you're doing.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed recently, so you know that Yamato 2199 is going to get a Western release, or a Western-oriented release. Star Blazers 2199.
Sure.
Found out recently that it has no North American distributor.
So how are they distributing it?
I have no idea.
Is the company doing it themselves?
Don't know. See, right now, apparently, they've only done 2 episodes, dubbed. So, something to keep in mind. Even though even though they're planning on releasing it here, it may never actually come here. Needs a distributor. Aniplex, Funimation, where are you?
Yeah, I've heard good things about
Sentai,
it.
come on. This should be an easy one.
Yeah. Unless they're trying to keep it all in-house so that they're trying to maintain most of the profit.
Maybe.
Because if you go with the distributor, that means the publisher takes in a certain percentage.
Yeah. I don't know.
And
Interesting.
who's developing the show again? I always forget the company.
Oh, crap. You would ask me that, and I haven't looked at it in a while. Not important for now.
Because I thought it was one of the bigger name studios, like a Sunrise or something like that.
No, it was, let me get it here. It's a joint effort between 2 companies. Oh, one company only did, Zebic and AIC.
Okay. Wow, they're not big at all. Or big enough to do that, so
No.
interesting.
They would need a distributor like Aniplex, Sentai, or Funimation.
Interesting.
Okay.
AIC only did, one of them only did 3 of the episodes. I can't remember who did what. But even Mal gives it an 8.3, so it can't be that bad, right?
I don't know, I haven't seen it.
It's a good show. When all of the Blu-rays come out, you should just watch it.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for.
It's worth it. It's a good space drama. They did a great job remaking it. Never mind. I'll leave it alone. That's about it. I don't think I have anything else this week.
I'm good.
I'm behind on some of my stuff, so I got to catch up. Oh, looks like there's a manga release that might interest you, Mr. Arrow.
Called...
Oh, it's an airplane manga. Shinsekai no Maki.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's in the social stream there. Yeah, I might have to as well.
Thank you, Val.
Yeah, it is. It looks like it's this is a bad cross-reference, but maybe a Girls on Panzer meets World War II aircraft?
We'll see.
All right. Thanks for the heads up, though.
Yeah. This time, it's female high school students and fighter aircraft. A dogfighter star is born. That's debatable. All right. Moving on.
All right.
Friday Anime Podcast. Check it out. Any comments? Who's up this week?
It's going to be Acosta's.
Nice.
He was on last week, and Zero Particle from Anime Instrumentality.
Ooh, very interesting.
Yep. And Kivo, but no one cares.
No one cares about Kivo. Yeah, you can find this and others at animeaudiolog.wordpress.com, the podcast feed at iTunes and at the site. This video gets posted up at YouTube as well as recorded to the Ustream channel. And if you'd like to join us as a guest, animeaudiolog@gmail.com. That's it, Arrow.
Laters.
See you guys.